Right here from Hedgehog's Homestead. Today we are going to make a fantastic treat. If you have been craving peanut butter cups or Reese's peanut butter cups because of the time of year it is, we're gonna make those keto style. We're gonna start with some dark chocolate chips. I like dark chocolate; it's better for you. This is going to be sugar-free. So I'm about to go to a women's retreat, and there's going to be lots of treats there. So my sister-in-law and I are trying to do good. And so I'm going to bring this and some keto brownies, which I'm going to try a keto recipe, or not a keto brownie recipe, but I'm going to just try a package and see what that's like. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for a couple minutes and we'll get started on making this. I heat them up. I don't put anything in there. Silicone muffin pans, and in that I have some papers. I do recommend the papers for them. It does give you that element of what a Reese's cup looks like, and it also, it's just nice that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and first thing we'll do is we'll add some chocolate to the bottom, and then we'll make our filling. Halfway melted, so I'm gonna move that aside so you guys can see in my bowl. And the melted ones will help melt the other ones. This chocolate melts very well without adding anything to it, guys. You don't have to add any butter, any water, anything. A lot of people put like a coconut oil, other things in it, but this stuff, this brand, which I get at Costco or Sam's Club. No, I get that at Costco. It melts very well. So we're just gonna keep on stirring it until it melts all the way. I put it in there for a minute, and then I'm gonna get out a little spoon and use my spatula and a spoon to put it inside our little Reese's, our little cupcake thing. And that's getting nice and smooth now. Just while it's warm, you're just using that extra warmth. You're not putting it back in, because if you keep on putting it back in until it melts, what happens, guys, is that it overcooks. So you don't need to do that. You just need to stir for after it's been in there for a minute. Spoon that I am just gonna, and see how nice and drizzly that is. And then I'm gonna use my spatula, and I'm just gonna put that down in there. And then just kind of move it around. That's awful thick. Doesn't need to be that thick, but that's okay. And then we go on to our next one. So you might want them a little smaller. You don't have to make them big. You can make them small, so you have smaller portions, which, you know, we all can need a little help with these days, because America has supersized us. Okay, and I'm almost out of chocolate now, so I might have to start to make some more chocolate. And I'll just keep on using the whole thing until I'm out, and then I just put some more chocolate chips in there all at once. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another maybe cup and a half in the microwave for a minute. If it hardens at all, you can just put it in the microwave for a while, but you wanna make sure that it's cooled down quite a bit before you put it back in the microwave again. The other things that you're gonna need for this recipe is some organic, nothing extra added peanut butter. We have Swerve powdered sugar, vanilla, butter, and milk, and a pinch of salt. There, that's perfect. The nice thing about using a glass bowl is that that glass bowl will retain a little heat too, and so you'll keep it warmer for longer there. Now I'm just going to keep that out, and we will shimmy our, and then I'm going to put this in the freezer for 15 minutes. While this is sitting in the freezer, we are going to make the filling. Okay, let's get this filling done. Got our bowl here. We're going to start with 2/3 cup of powdered sugar. If you can't find powdered sugar at your store, Swerve is, they're showing up in more and more stores. So you can take your like monk fruit or whatever you are doing with yours and just put that in a blender and blend it. And remember to measure it after you've blended it, so that you're getting the proper measurement of the sugar. So that's 2/3. That's why I use 2 of these. It's 1/3 2 times. And then in that we are gonna put our 6 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now I'm gonna have to stir this peanut butter because this is a natural peanut butter. This is a Kirkland brand. Smucker's makes a really good one. There's just a lot of good natural peanut butters out there now. So easy to find in your peanut butter aisle. You just want to make sure that with this natural peanut butter stuff, you give it a good stir, and it will take a minute. But that's okay, you're using those muscles. So we're gonna do 6 tablespoons of natural peanut butter. Spatula like this handy. Bubba, can you move, honey? Thank you. And so that I can scrape off and make sure that I get in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So there we go with that. Now I'm gonna need vanilla extract. It says 1/2 teaspoon. I add a little bit more than that. And then we're gonna do a tablespoon of butter. Put my butter dish right here. It's a little cool in here today, so that's not perfectly melted or softened. And then we are gonna add a tablespoon of milk, but we're gonna do that last. And I'm gonna just go get my milk and then I'm mashing that butter. You can use, instead of butter, if you want to go dairy-free, you can use coconut oil, MCT oil, you know, all the good stuff that you can avoid that dairy if you need to avoid that dairy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a blender to this. I'm going to get out my milk and just put a little tablespoon of fat. You can do heavy cream. There we go. I'm just gonna do that and then but you just need it to be a cake consistency like that, where it can cake together, because we're just gonna make little balls. And we are gonna add them to, and I wanna make, I think it's 12 little balls while that's coming together, so that's perfect. So we just wanna make little balls. What I do is when I put them in there, I make them a ball and then I squish them. And so it just goes down easier. So that's 2. You could easily double this recipe, which I probably should have done, but that's okay. There's 4. 5. 6. Now this recipe, I do find if I eat too many of them, that I get reflux. And so I don't recommend that, but they are that good. So don't do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna make these all into little balls, and we'll get that tray of chocolate goodness out here. Our little balls in there. Put it in like so. And then I like to leave room around the edge. I don't want to push them down. If you push them down too much, what happens is then you end up with it coming out the sides. Which can be kind of cool. It can be kind of that layered effect, but I like it this way. Now they're going to be a little inconsistent with size because I didn't use something to measure out each one of those. And then I'm just going to start drizzling my chocolate over top. No cooking necessary, except for the microwave. And then you just want to give your little tray a little shimmy every once in a while. Check out the recipe below. Super simple. I'm just going to finish these off and I'll show you some of them that you can see that mound. I'm going to cover those up a little bit more, and we're just going to make them look nice and yummy, and I'll show what they look like. And they are absolutely delicious. I'm not going to taste one because I know that. So, but man, this is something that I made, and I made a lot of last time, and I put them in the freezer, and they are something I don't make a lot of anymore because they are so delicious, and I will just keep on eating them. And yeah. So if you guys are feeling like you're missing out this time of year, this is a way to feel like you're included if you're diabetic or you're on a low carb diet, where you can feel like you can have a treat, and you're just not going to eat as many of them, even though they're low carb. These have 2 net carbs per serving, 3 grams of fiber, and a total carb of 5. And, once you remove that fiber factor, you have that too. So protein is 3 grams, and then fat is 7 grams, somewhere around there. Your calories per serving is like 95 calories. So it's not a lot of calories, but you just don't want to get in the habit, if you're keto or carnivore, to eat a lot of this stuff. It's just the problem I find with this kind of stuff is that when you're carnivore, It just drives that sugar. If you have a sugar addiction like I do, it drives that, right? It fuels that. It gives you that taste, which is awesome, but you just don't want to do it a lot because it will drive that. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. We'll see you guys back at the end. So we'll see you guys next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead.